Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to show you, give you a walkthrough of the accomplished ability to interface with interactive brokers, TWS, get some data, specifically real-time market data, and then take that same data, insert it into a Redis server instance, and at the same time, I'm just going to, for just testing purposes, display what's in the list for that Redis data. So let me just walk you through this. First of all, there's this really good tutorial here. I'll include this link in my source code at the top. What you need to do is, this is a NetBeans IDE. So what I'll do is I'll try to zip up the entire project. It'll test IB TWS. What you need to do is come under here, under the default packages, look for this file, real-time data redis.java, and like I said, I'll include the URL of that tutorial I just gave you, this one. And outside of that, let's get to it. So you have the standard import code, just like here. None of that, but you also have to import the the Redis, the Redis client for Java. That can be added by just coming into properties, and then I think I probably have to, no, probably for this package here, or this one, here. Believe I've got the sample, but you will need to add the Redis jar file by coming under libraries. Yeah, it's right here. So you download, I've shown you how to download the Redis jar file in previous videos. So you have to include that as part of the project. Okay? So that's another big change. So in here, all it really does is it will try to make an attempt to connect into the Redis. So let me just make sure I got the right file here. Okay. Let me just show you the main file, or sorry, the main method here. Just runs a constructor right here called real-time data Redis. And then here's the constructor. If you follow this tutorial, it's really essential you read it to understand it. But what happens is you connect into the TWS, and then basically you will set up this data that you want, which is a euro with the US dollar. And what we're going to do is we're going to capture the latest tick price. So there's some stub methods you have to put in. Again, read this tutorial to understand why. But the one that you will need to know about is right here, tick price. So the tick price is what gets displayed, which I'll run in a minute. So it'll display the tick price. It'll grab the latest order ID and another field on top of the current price. So just pay attention to this as well, because with a field, it'll bring back, are you retrieving the bid, the ask, or whatever, based on these numbers. Okay, that was a confusing part of the previous video. I'll show you another segment on why I didn't like the Java main test from that you get with the interactive brokers. I found that very confusing, but this is a little more straightforward to work with. So once we display the latest tick price with the order ID, the field, again, which is really this, is a bid ask that you're retrieving in the price. What we also want to do is we want to insert into Redis. So essentially what we're doing is we do our usual connect into Redis. I just print this out for kicks. And where this code comes from is this tutorial right here, which is quite good. Let me just pull that up for you. So you could walk through the basics here. It'll show you how to download the latest Redis file. I've shown this before, previous videos. And then what you're doing is you connect into Redis. So you make sure you have your Redis server running. And then what we do is we're going to push a list into Redis. So it's going to be Euro. So kind of like this. Let's see, where am I? Here. Very similar. In this case, what they are doing is pushing a list called tutorial list with all these three different elements, or additional column rows, I guess. Redis, Mongo, MySQL. But what we're doing is we're just adding in the latest tick price with all that info, again, the order ID in this field. And then what we do is we want to just retrieve the latest 10 latest again rows in the Redis instance and just display them as we do here. So I have gotten confirmation that the only data types you can really store in Redis are strings. So this is what you typically do. Just for optimal purposes, I'll have to take out these things like the order ID, the tick price, this comma, and just try to minimize as much as you can, and maybe parse it on the other end in the C with where the space or comma or whatever is a delimiter. That's as efficient as you can get as far as I can tell. And then that's how we're going to do it. So once again, what we're doing is we enter into Redis, or into Redis, connecting into it. We do a push of a list called Euro with the latest price and the field, as I mentioned earlier, and the order ID, as well as the we're going to display now the last 10 rows of prices, I guess, from Redis. Okay, so let's run it. Another big trick is, because we're not probably taking down the interactive brokers connection, so what I do is I'll run it, break it, but I'm not in a clean way tearing down the IB. So I'm just going to load this IB TWS up. Usual username edemo, and then password demo user. I'll browse it. Demo user. There we go. So essentially, what you have to do each time you relaunch your TWS, you have to go in and also configure the API settings, which is kind of a real pain, but I'm trying to figure. I'm not all that brilliant with TWS, so I'm hoping to have a convenient way of saving the configuration settings each time, so I don't have to do what I'm about to show you. Alright, so when you load up your TWS latest stable version, go into classic mode. That will enable us to get access to the configure. Just pull that down, go to API settings. Now, I've shown this before. It's really important. Enable the ActiveX and socket clients, which is what we're doing. I just had a habit. I just unclick this read only. So if I want to send orders, I can do that, and as well allow connections from localhost only. Alright, so let's apply. Okay. So now we can run this. So let me just run this again. Let me just set up some breakpoints. It'll probably be easier to do that. Yeah, that's our. Okay, here's our tick price. So I'll set a breakpoint here. Okay. So let me debug this now. Which one's my debug? Here. Okay, so we're going to debug. Just have to debug the file. Okay, so here we are. So we're about to connect into the TWS, as you can see here. And let me just do a step over. Okay, so now it's going to connect into Redis. And then it's going to display that message that it has connected. There we go. It's connected fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert or push our list using Euro, or the EUR, with the order ID and the field. In this case it's 1, which is I believe it's a bid, and then our price, which is 1.3. Okay, so let's push that. So I am going to, if I can break here, maybe no, but I'll let it continue. So you can see here it's displayed the last 10 as we have demonstrated here. So we're going to display a list of Euro of the last 10. So we could set that to whatever we want. This is equivalent to maybe a rolling window if you're using a time series. So you can see our latest price is 13155, and from previous instances of running this, yeah, it's working. So let's continue. So we've added, in this case, 1.136. This is an, I believe it's 2 is an ask, and we've added that. Okay, so everything seems to be working quite nice. I guess I can kind of go to bed finally, and go from there. So just wanted to let you know that this is working. As I said, I'll make this code available as I'll zip up this file, this project file here, which is the Interactive Brokers TWS, but I've added in this code for the custom real-time data, as well as reading and pushing a list into it, as well as reading it, the last 10, as I said. Okay, so I'll include all that. So you do have to make sure you include all the paths as you are instructed in the PDF of the Java API from Interactive Brokers. So you have to include this, add the folder, and add the source file folder as well. Or sorry, this Java folder as well, the samples Java. and Java client. Okay, so I'll package that all up. Hopefully that'll help you out. Talk to you later. Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to show you some funky stuff I found with the Java API for interactive brokers. The main application of this test Java client app. I want to show you some weird stuff. Before I do that, I need to try to walk you through some diagnostics in setting up Redis. Actually, no. Let me screw that. Okay. In the the TWS Java API, I've diagnosed the place where we basically are going to display in the panel. Let me just give you a heads up here. So you connect into this server. I got IB TWS running in the background. Let me just show you that. Apparently not. I'm lying. Okay, let me just close that. Oh, here we are. It's of course the famous midnight shutdown business that we've always got with TWS. So I'm relaunching it, as you can see. Alright, let's just give it a second. I'm going to relaunch my test Java client app, this guy right here. So before you run this, you need the TWS running. I'm going to show you some very funky stuff. Basically what I'm trying to tell people is that there is some really weird stuff going on. Okay, let me just go to the classic. Going to configure just to make sure my API is set up correctly. Okay, so we'll unclick read only, allow connections from local host only, and then we gotta click on this ActiveX and socket clients. Alright, so knowing that, okay, so we should be able to run and connect into it. So I'm going to run the file. Alright, so here we are. I've shown this before. It's going to connect as a local host, so just leave everything blank. So we are connected to the data farm in the TWS. Okay, so we got all that properly set up finally. So I'm going to show you this part right here. When I connect into the TWS server, I'm going to request market data. And typically when you request market data, let's say with IQFeed, you get back a sort of a structure or some kind of class with everything that you need in one class. That's not the case with this IB TWS. Let me just show you. So I'm going to add request the market data to IBM, let's say. So we're going to, okay, yes, we know that. So what's going to happen is I've set up breakpoints here in the sample frame. So when there's a request to the tick price, the tick size, or some tick generic, we've got breakpoints on any time, because basically what it's doing, it's sending out a message to this generator, and here's the parameters it's going to send out. So we want ticker ID once we connect into it and request and subscribe to it. There's two requests we have to send out. So that's the first one we have to send out. Then for each one we have to send out a size and the string, I believe. Let me just put a breakpoint here, and a bunch of others. It's a real mess. Okay, so we've got everything connected. But now I'm going to set up the debug. Yeah, so we have to start debugging it, not run it. So now that we want these breakpoints, we're going to have to do the same thing, but debug. Where's my debug? Not run. So we want to debug this file. Okay, so we got to do the same thing as before. Connect. So now we're going to request our market data. Put in IBM. This is where it gets really wonky. So, where am I currently? I should be somewhere. Okay, let me just continue. So here we are on the tick price. So you can see nothing's been sent out to the market. Nothing's been sent out to this panel. Let me just do a continue here. So you can see that the bid price has been sent. Let me just see if we can still see. So there's the message, or the bid price. So let me just go to the next one. Alright, so we got the bid size, which is right here. The tick option computation, I believe. Let me just do another continue. So we're going to get the ask price now of 148. So we have to send for each request to get back the necessary info we want. So we have to do a separate request to this message generator tick price with a ticker ID of 1, the price, and then we get back a message of the current price. I mean, to me, honestly, this is a dog's breakfast. If I was to use a TWS Link 2 and Visual C++, it's much easier because I get it one class. So I don't have to do all these multiple requests to get the necessary info that I want back. So I just make one request, I get back everything in one class. That's what I'm saying. In this case, you have to send multiple requests to get and then string together your request. That to me is not what I like to see, because that will not work properly under Redis. So we are under, so we're down to tick size. So what's our message? ID equals bid ask 1. So this is what will be displayed now. So there you go. So now we have to do another request on the tick size to get the ask size. So you gotta send multiple requests to build out your current bid ask and bid size and so and the pricing. Ugh, what a mess. So I just want to show you that's not very efficient. I was hoping that you could just make one request and get all the info in a separate class instead of going through this, as I said, dog's breakfast. I just want to show that to you. So we got to change the apps, Java apps. Go back to the original one. Alright, later.